What's up guys, I'm back with you again, and it's time to do the team analysis. So this is looking basically at all the Pokemon and looking at how they all kind of work together in this team. So the team itself is Team Player the Swampert, Big Chief the Chesnaught, and Slice and Dice the Blade. Now I know what you're thinking. Straight off the bat, I know exactly what you're thinking. You say, okay, well, you got 3 physical attackers, all really good on the physical kind of side of defense as well, but what are you going to do against special attacks? Nothing. I thought of this team and I was thinking to myself, like, you know, there are a few special attackers that come to free-for-alls, but most of the time you're actually up against physical attackers, so why not just make a physical team? And it's worked. I won a few free-for-alls with this team. Like, it's not always going to work, but physical pressure is the best kind of pressure, in my opinion, and this team delivers it in spades, guys, in freaking spades. So let me just try and break it down for you the way that I saw the team. So I wanted to look at a kind of core that I could deal with. So basically it was fire, water, grass. Could I deal with fire, water, grass? Fire, dealt with. Water and grass, dealt with. Grass, dealt with. That was the first thing. You always, that's how I kind of look at it. Then I was like, okay, do I have a steel resist? Yeah, I've got this, and I've also got this, and I've also got this. So steel's not a problem for me. I can deal with steel with any of my Pokemon. Ground types, because Earthquake is a common thing. Well, I've got Chesnaught that eats them up, and Swampert can also eat up a couple of if it needs to. So moving on from there, fighting types, I had the Blade, which was able to completely nullify them, and I also had a bulky Chesnaught. So I wasn't too fussed by fighting types. Flying types, I had the support of Blade, and it goes on and on and on. And it basically gave you really good coverage. The thing is, it won't give you perfect coverage forever. Like, eventually your Pokemon are going to get worn down to the point where they'll just go away. But what this is trying to do is give you options when your Pokemon's in trouble. It's like for Swampert. I looked at Swampert and said, okay, this thing cannot deal with grass types. Okay, I'll chuck on a grass type, and I'll chuck on a steel type. So that way I can deal with anything that comes out at me in the best way possible. And then I looked at Chesnaught and said, okay, Bird Spam. Bird Spam's kind of annoying for Chesnaught, as is Fire. So I'll bring in a Water type that can deal with Fire, and I can also bring in a strong Steel type to deal with Flying. Okay, so that was kind of my mindset. And then Blade, I guess, was the fact that, okay, Earthquake and Fire are annoying. Okay, I've got Chesnaught and I've got Swampert. So, boom, that's how the team came about. I didn't intend for them all to be physical attackers. It just happened that way, especially with Blade. Blade, if it was Aegislash, it could be different because that could be a special attacker, but unfortunately, Blade's special attack is kind of shite, so that didn't happen. But this team works really good. Normally you lead with Swampert, and if you've got really good field presence, you Mega Evolve, you just destroy everything in your path until it dies. Then when it dies, you basically have this little core of Chesnaught and Slice and Dice. Now the real issue, the one issue with this is that you are susceptible to Pokemon like Talonflame and Charizard. Those are the two kind of main ones that are really tear you a new one. Also, Mega Pidgeot, if it's not on your side of the field, because then it has Heat Wave, can destroy you, which is why having Swampert around later on is good, but the presence that Swampert has at the start is also really good. So this team's kind of hit and miss. It depends on how well you play it and how well you can analyze your opponent's threats throughout the battle. It's really voice break is really just down to that, to be honest. There's nothing special about it. How would it normally play out first turn? So if I bring in Swampert and I know there are no threats, I just go ham. If I know that there's a grass type out, I try and talk and convince them, but deep down I know they probably want to go for me because they might fear the fact that I may have Ice Punch, so I can go into Chesnaught to deal with that. But there are certain times, guys, where I know that a grass move might be coming, but Chesnaught might not be the best pick. So that's normally when it's actually a Pokemon that's not a grass type using a grass type move like Electros. If I saw an Electros out there, I'd probably go into Blade for the fact that Blade can eat up a hit a little bit better than Chesnaught. You can eat up the Giga Drain, and then the following Flamethrower can eat that up a little bit better than Chesnaught would be able to. But mainly, the aim with this team is just to try and wear down your opponent as well, to the point where I think normally it's just... this is how it's meant to happen. You bring in Swampert, smash a whole team of them apart, they come in with their next few, Chesnaught just sticks around, cleanly takes a few out, and then when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, you've got something that has enough power to be able to just go like Shadow Seek, Shadow Seek, Shadow Seek. Everything dies. It's the hope. That's how it's meant to be used. Doesn't always turn out that way, in case you haven't noticed in my free-for-alls. But it's how I wish it would be used, and I'm sure one day that'll actually happen when I get better at convincing people what to do, or I just don't bring threatening Pokemon. Anyway, but that's the team, guys. Feel free to use it if you want to. It's just something I came up with, really, and it seems to work. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment on my channel. Love hearing your thoughts. Love hearing your Pokemon set ideas. If there's anything you want me to try out. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Kazooie29,